And today we're going to do a shoulder workout, a little bit of neck, but mostly shoulder and postural awareness through that shoulder girdle. I'm going to do it seated, but I'm on a stool so that my arms can move freely down next to me. So if you want to not be on a chair which has got arms that are going to get in the way, or that's too wide that you can't have your arms just hung down by your sides. If I turn sideways on, I want you to keep that internal scaffolding system stacked. So you've got your pelvic floor in the base of your pelvis, you've got your diaphragm in the base of your rib cage, you've got the tongue and deep neck flexors up in that sort of back of the throat area, which are all stacked on top of each other. So no poking of the chin, no collapsing into your back, and getting that internal scaffolding out of alignment during these exercises. Then the pieces of kit I'm going to use, I've got they're 1 kg weights. If you have any shoulder problems at all or any neck problems, do all of these movements without the weights. And as long as you're pain-free, you can then pick up either some 400-gram cans or some small handheld weights, depending on how you're feeling. If you know your shoulders and neck are fine and you want to add a little bit of strength training, start with 1 kg and you can go up if you feel you can maintain your form. As soon as you add a load that means you compromise your form in order to hold the load, then you've gone and overweighted, and therefore you're not going to do the exercises well. So it's better to have less weight and be able to keep that internal scaffolding working, softness around the shoulder girdle so you're working efficiently rather than overstraining. The last piece of kit I've got is a piece of TheraBand, but it can be any kind of band because we're going to use it for going up and over the body. So you want it to have a little bit of give in it, but it can be a scarf or anything like that. So having a piece of band. So the first exercise I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hand weights. We've done this before in classes. Your hands are just giving into the weights, so your elbows stay lovely and long and relaxed, and you're going to breathe in and bring those shoulders up towards your ears. And as you breathe out, you're going to let those shoulder blades melt down your back and your collarbones stay wide on the front of your chest. Think about your internal scaffolding, pelvic floor, diaphragm, tongue in the roof of your mouth. Are they all nicely stacked? Breathing in, slide the shoulder girdle up. Breathe out, melt that shoulder girdle back down onto the rib cage. Allow the weights in the hand to guide the arms longer and longer. And I want you to think about the top inside corners of the shoulder blade. So I'm just going to give you a reference point. So you keep breathing in and shrugging up, breathing out and shrugging down. The top inside corner of the shoulder blade is directly sort of below your ear. When you're breathing in and shrugging up, I want both the inside and outside corner of that shoulder blade to lift. And as you breathe out and lower down, I also want you to let go on this top inside corner. I don't want you just to dump that the outside corner down and then you get an imbalanced shoulder. I want you to think of the dropping down coming from this top inside corner, but directly below your ear rather than the point of your shoulder. So keep working with that breath, breathing in as you shrug up, breathing out, thinking of the top inside corner below your ear, dropping down, not the outside corner of your shoulder. Breathing in and up, breathing out and down. And breathing in and up, and breathing out and down. Lovely. Keeping that lovely internal scaffolding stacked, so your pelvic floor, your diaphragm, your tongue's in the roof of your mouth, your head is nicely balanced on top of your neck. We're going to lift one ear up and away from one shoulder. So I don't want you to think of collapsing the other ear down to your other shoulder. I want you to think of lifting and lengthening on one side. Then as you breathe in, you're going to lift that whole shoulder blade up on the side of the lengthened side. And then as you breathe out, you're going to release down, again thinking of the top inside corner of the shoulder blade, nearest the ear side, dropping down. Breathing in and up. Breathing out, releasing down. 2 more. Breathing in and up. Breathing out, releasing that shoulder blade. 1 more time, breathing in and up. And breathing out and down. And then float the head back up And then lift the other ear up away from the other shoulder. Just take a moment to think, find that lovely length and relaxation. Try not to feel any gripping and tension. Breathing in, shrug the nearest, this opposite shoulder from the way you're stretched away. Breathing in and up. Breathing out, release it down. Thinking of that top inside corner of the shoulder blade releasing away from the ear. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and down, releasing that down away from the ear. Breathing in and up. Breathing out and down, letting go, letting go, letting go. And breathing in and up. And breathing out and down, letting it go, letting it go, letting it go. And then floating your head back up. We are now going to just circle those shoulder girdles. Opening the chest, dropping them down, bringing them forwards, lifting them up. Opening the chest, dropping them down. Are you able to maintain that internal scaffolding in a lovely stacked position whilst you move those shoulder blades on the rib cage? Or every time you move those shoulder blades, does the whole body want to follow those shoulders? And can you keep nice and stable through your midline? Breathing in and up, breathing out and down. Breathing in and up. And breathing out and down. And then we're going to float the elbows up to 90 degrees. So sideways on, I've just got my elbows bent to 90. We are then going to think about nice relaxed shoulder blades on the back of the rib cage, but I want you to think about those shoulder blades really sort of sucking into the backs of the ribs like limpets, because I want them to stay still as you then turn the hands out and bring them back in. I don't want you to grip your elbows into your sides. I want your elbows just to hang below the shoulders, and I want you just to turn the arms out and release. I want you to pay attention to what's happening on your shoulder blades and notice if there's gripping or squeezing around the shoulder blades. And if there is, I want you to try to see if you can let go around the shoulder blades and make this a pure what we would call gleno-humeral joint movement, which is the actual shoulder joint socket. So it's this top joint at the top of the arm here. We are making it a pure movement of rotation of your arm bone in the socket, and we don't want the shoulder blades to be moving around too much on your back. And you can breathe in as you open to give you space through the front of the ribs to open through the shoulders, and breathe out as you close. Breathing in as you open, breathing into that width across the collarbones, and breathing out. 2 more. Breathing in and breathing out. Last one. Breathing in, widening the collarbones, softening the shoulder blades, and breathing out. We're then going to go into Cleopatra, so that starts with the same movement. Now, if you have any shoulder discomfort, pop your weights down now and do it without the weights. If it feels pain-free without the weights, add the weights. You're going to turn the arms out, and then you're going to reach them up with the palms facing up. You're going to then turn the thumbs to point to the floor. Then you're going to turn the palms back to face the ceiling, folding the elbows in and releasing the arms back to the start position. You can breathe in through the whole of this movement, breathing out as you turn down and turn up, and breathing in as you come back down, and breathing out at the bottom. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out, and breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out, and breathing in, and breathing out. Lovely. We are then going to do, I'm going to drop the weights down, and we are going to have both arms up, and we're going to turn one palm down, have one palm up. You're going to turn and look at the palm that's facing up. Then you're going to alternate. You're going to turn that palm down and the other one up and turn to look at the up palm. Turn the other palm down and the other one up and turn and look. So as you turn your palm up on one side, you turn to look at it. As you turn the palm up, you turn to look at it. Just working through a little bit of the neural tissue that connects from the neck to the arm. Just mobilizing the arm and the tissues in a slightly different way. Notice if there's tension. If you start to get pins and needles or numbness in your fingers, then you come out of it because you're holding it for too long. Keep breathing softly and fluidly throughout the movement. There doesn't have to be a particular pattern, but just keep the air moving gently in and out. And finishing off. And folding back in. Circling the shoulders off. Then we're going to come back to one arm. We're going to bring the arm here, and then you're going to side bend away and reach the arm out with the wrist extending, and then fold the neck and the arm back in. Reach the arm away, reach the neck in the opposite direction, and fold back in. And again, this is working on your neural tissue. We don't want to hold it too long if it feels tight at the end. But we're just testing it out. Keeping some movement through our fascial and neural lines that work through the arms. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So have the arm ready with the wrist extended. Take the head or neck away and reach through the arm and fold back in. Notice if it feels very different from one side to the other. So my dominant arm, my right side, is very tight. My non-dominant side, which I'm doing now, my left side, feels completely released and fine. So again, you might find some variation in stiffness depending on the load you're used to putting through one side of your body, depending on how dominant armed you are and things like that, and the activities you do during the day. 2 more. And it's quite nice as you breathe in as you reach the arm away, and breathe out as you release down. We'll do 1 more. Breathing in as you reach away, and breathing out as you come down. Relaxing your arms and circling the shoulders. We're now going to pick up our piece of band, if you've got one. It's difficult to do this exercise without holding onto something. It's best to start with your arms quite wide apart holding the band, and your thumbs are pointing towards each other. We're going to take the arms up, and you may then need to pull them apart a little bit as you take that band behind your head and drop it down your back. And then push the palms apart as you come back up and over. You can adjust your grip as you like. So I'm making mine a bit wider because I had to pull a little bit too hard for me to get my shoulders to go all the way around. Now, if you are finding you've lost the stacking of your horizontal muscles as you're doing this, it's indicating some limitations in some of the muscle groups. So if you're having to poke your chin forwards in order to get this band to travel, this is usually the sticky bit is going from above your head to behind. Some people will have to poke their chin forwards or collapse in the back. You want to only go to where you can go to, keeping your horizontal muscles stacked. If that's as far as you can go and you don't want to go behind you, that's completely fine. Just work to the point you feel comfortable opening the chest and top of the arm and come back to above your head, and going back again to this point here and coming back above the head, and keeping those horizontal muscles stacked. And so you can work in the part of the range. If the part of the range feels most difficult to floss behind your shoulders, you can work on this bit above and below at the back of your body. So you find the bits that you feel trickiest in this pattern of movement. If it feels easy to go all the way up at the front and all the way down at the back, if you've got lovely, smooth, coordinated shoulder joints, then this can be a really nice strengthening because you've got a little bit of resistance in the band and coordination pattern. As long as you're keeping those horizontal muscles stacked so your posture is staying nice and strong and long, and it's a shoulder exercise, not a whole body exercise. And releasing down. To finish off, we're going to pop into 4-point kneeling. I'm going to move my stool. To start with, I'm going to face you for the first exercise, and then I'm going to go sideways on, and all will become clear as I talk you through. So for the first exercise, again, it's about opening the front of the chest. We're coming onto hands and knees, and we're having wide arm placements with our hands balanced on the tops of our fingers. And then I'm going to turn to look to one hand, and I'm going to pull my body away from the fixed hand and drop my shoulder and head to the floor. And then I'm going to come back up, turn to look at the other hand, bring my body away from the hand I'm looking away from, and bringing my shoulder and head to the floor. And you're alternating that pattern, feeling any stretching through the arm, depending on your mobility. And then coming up. Then I'm going to turn sideways on, and we are going to tent the fingers again, and we're going to pull back into child's pose on tented fingers. So the fingers are on the tips, and it just gives you a deeper, stronger stretch through the armpits, pulling your sit bones back to your heels and feeling your armpits opening. Let your head fall between your arms. Like mine, it might not touch the floor depending on how stiff your shoulders are. Some people have got amazing shoulder flexibility and they might get their head relaxed to the floor. Others of you might be more like me and feel a bit tight and sticky in their shoulder blades and armpits, and therefore your head is not. So just let your head be comfortable. Breathe into the sides and back of your rib cage, trying to breathe into the tissues that feel tightest. And then coming forwards again. And then the last exercise we're going to do, we're going to put our elbows on the floor, and you're going to bring your fingertips to the base of your neck. And then you're going to pull your hips back, leaving your elbows planted. Adjust them accordingly, but you're looking to get that tricep stretch up through the backs of your arms, from your armpits to your elbows. Have your head relaxed between your arms. Pull your hips back as far as they feel comfortable to get that stretch through from the armpits to the elbows. And breathe. Breathe into the space where your armpits are. Breathe into the space where your shoulder blades are. Using the opportunity to expand the rib cage and open up the lungs into the areas of tension. And then bring your body weight forwards over your elbows and working yourself back up. Well done. Hopefully you might feel, having done that your shoulders and neck feel a little bit more liberated. That's the aim of doing these kind of things. You may find your shoulders, if you took the hand weights, may feel like they've done a little bit of work tomorrow or the next day, because sometimes it's 48 hours before people feel that delayed onset muscle soreness when they've been working muscles that they haven't worked for a while. So notice what you feel in your body, because that leads the practice you need to do. So if you find that you don't feel a lot different having done that to how you felt before, then you might have really good shoulder function and you might not have challenged yourself with that particular workout. Therefore, you might want to look back at some of the other videos and find something you find more challenging. Or if then none of them are challenging enough, then go and find something else. But if you found that has made you have a sense of ease and sort of warmth around your shoulder girdle and head and neck, then you know that it's got the blood circulation going into that area. Hopefully that will improve the muscle conditions and the tissue conditions through that shoulder girdle complex, which can basically improve your fascial movement and your muscle strength and all of those different things that we're trying to aim for as we get older. So see how that feels. If it felt beneficial, then try to do it a few times to build that strength up. And we will be back on again soon. All right, have a good week. Bye.